hesitation. Got me going crazy. Keep it moving. I'm tuned in to True North Racing, the podcast that you need if you got the need for speed. John Morrison interviewing guests in the industry. Hey, short track, stock car racing. Gotta get it hype. Saturday night under the lights. Hear the engine rooming by. Smell the gas and feel the vibe. Going into overdrive. Drop the flag, then the car zooming by. Hey, True North Racing. Let's go.
All right, what's up, everyone, and welcome back to a new week of the True North Racing Podcast. I'm your host, John Morrison. Joining me, as always, is our amazing co-host, Megan Mitchell. Megan, how are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you, John?
I'm doing all right. How was It's weird. We're recording on a Monday.
Yeah,
I'm sure last night probably felt really weird for you.
it did.
So, to give everyone a little bit of background here, this week on Wednesday is my oldest son's 9th birthday. And so this past weekend we had him. Well, here's a little fun tidbit. We were supposed to I scheduled this so we were recording tonight on Monday instead of our usual Sunday, and that is because I was supposed to have the kids. Well, when I have the kids, well, it's 8 o'clock when we start recording. So, and by the time we're done, we're usually done 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. So they would be sleeping. That'd be rude of me. Just a little bit. Anyways, so we moved it to Monday night this week, and yeah, it's a little bit. We're gonna, of course, always have our open dialogue here, discussion we'd like to go through. This past weekend was weird because neither one of us hit a racetrack. Actually, that's a lie.
That is a lot.
I still got it. I still got it. In the 2.5 years Jacklyn and myself have been, over 2.5 years Jacklyn and I have been together, I've never taken her go-karting.
Really?
Well, with the pandemic and everything, we
That's
weren't
true.
sure when stuff was open, and
Yeah.
I wanted to take her to the 401 Mini Indy down here in Toronto. Love this track, love the karts, great racing. So yeah, we headed out there. It was a great track. I still love it. I do have a funny story. So as everyone knows, my helmet that sits over the top right of my shoulder, for anyone who had never heard it before, I won that in a raffle from Grisel Racing Products back in 2020. I think it was 2020, maybe 2021. Anyways, won it in a raffle, went down, picked it up, and it's been kind of like a decoration for the show ever since. Well, Thursday night was my first time I ever got to wear it on track. Now, here's the funny story. I go up, I pay for Jacklyn and I's. We only race 10 laps, and that is because you buy three. It's $3 a lap. So I spend $60 on the two of us to go-karting. And it's a long track. It's not a short circuit. It's a big track.
Oh, okay.
But you got to pay each lap.
Yeah.
So you have to slow down your momentum.
Yeah.
To go back, essentially back into pit lane. It's a continue. So like, if we were going, we couldn't do it. They would literally have to move all the slow carts from the one side over to like this single area, get them out of the circuit completely, and we'd have to race through there. That's the only way I could see it working for people like us. If we were to like rent it out for a day and have to like use it all.
Yeah.
But the funny part was I was like, can I use my own helmet? They're like, is it DOT? I'm like, yeah, it's Snell rated. Like it equals out. I'm like, okay. So I go out there. They're like, can you turn around, please? I'm like, yeah, sure. It's like, oh, it's not DOT. We can't allow that. I'm like, excuse me? I'm like, it's Snell. Like it's certified. Like
Literally a racing helmet.
it's a racing helmet. Like it's race quip. Like it's like, I gotta talk to my manager. I'm like, okay. So the manager comes over. He's like, is it DOT? I'm like, it's Snell. Like it's a racing helmet. It's for racing. He's like, I'm sorry, we can't allow that. It's not DOT. So I'm like, All right. So I walked back in. I wasn't even being a dick. I walked back in. I was like, hey, do you mind if I grab a hairnet? And the lady behind the counter is like, sure. And I'm like, they won't let me use my helmet. And she goes, what? So I set my helmet on the counter. And she's like, she sees that it's a race helmet. And she's like, is it Snell rated? I was like, absolutely. I'm like, it's Snell rated 2020. And she's like, oh yeah, that's allowed. And then she walks out and comes over there. And I just set down the hairnet because I knew I wasn't going to need it. And she's like, yeah, Snell and DOT are allowed. Like, da 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 da. I'm like, he walks by. He's like, man, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I'm like, dude, it's all good. I'm like, I wasn't trying to cause anything. I was just literally just like, I was fine with it. I was fine with it, but I got to use that helmet finally. I gotta say this: the circuit needs a little bit of work. So it's a touch bumpy.
Mhm.
I had the visor just cracked on it.
Yeah.
I hit a bump a certain way. The visor shut. I was like, so here I am, like going through like so you go up a hill. So as I'm going up this hill to cross this bridge, I'm like trying
Oh my god.
trying to flick it back open just to get the crack in. Just to oh yeah. But it was a lot of fun. Jacklyn had a lot of fun. I want to say I would beat her by a lap, but that's false. But I did have an issue because you do pay by the ticket. So each lap you got to stop, give him a ticket. Well, my pocket, I'm a big boy. I'm not a small guy. So like pocket was like the ticket was lodged in my pocket. So I'm like, hey man, like I got like 9 more tickets. I'm like, can I just hop out? And he's like, yeah, just pull up there. I'm like, okay. So I go up, I hop out. The guy comes and like, hey, is everything? I'm like, oh yeah, everything's fine. My tickets were in my pocket. And he's like, oh, no one tell you there's a pocket right here on the cart?
Oh my
And they
god.
literally have a pocket to the left side of you that's riveted. So, and it just has this little opening so you can literally drop your tickets in and pull out as you need them. So I'm like, no one showed me that. He's like, all right, give me a ticket and go on your way. I'm like, all right. So I put the rest of the tickets there. Well, Jacklyn passed me at this point because of how long it took me. And she's like, afterwards, we joked about it. But anyways, I caught back up to her in 2 laps. And then we were talking about afterwards that she just got the confidence to make a pass. And I was going to be a dick and pass him on the high side, but I forgot where I was on the track. And I went to the low side, not the high side. Because I knew Jacklyn may not see me, and the person in front of her may not see me. So I was going to make it easier and go to the high side. Well, here goes. I see Jacklyn just start wiggling over this way, and I can see she's getting the confidence to pass her, or pass the person in front of her. And then of course me, I'm just like, excuse me, coming through. Just send it right in.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was just like, I just got the confidence to pass, and then you pass me. Like, racers got to race. I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. Like, if you're not first, you're last. Like, but it's a lot of fun. But I know you were upset we didn't invite you guys. I took a Snapchat picture, just put it on my story. And then here's Megan just didn't invite us. Are you too good for us now? Like no, Megan, it's 2 hours away from you guys. They don't have lights, so they close at like 8:00. I didn't think y'all were gonna make it, so
We gotta plan some though, because like nobody will go with me. I'm just too.
I'll go. I got no issues.
So I turn into a jerk. Unless it's yeah, it doesn't matter where I am. Cameron's I end up taking too seriously.
Sorry?
Or not Cameron's. Well, I do, but the indoor one in Hamilton.
Yeah.
But we went to one in like outside of Niagara Falls a few years ago. And it was that same thing where you gotta slow down.
Yeah.
But they took like a clothespin and clipped it to the back wing on the go-kart. So it's like I'm sitting there pulling up and I wouldn't come to a full stop. I'm making this guy like chase me to like clip it while I'm still going. I'm like, come on, man. Hurry up. Like I got people to beat. Let's go.
Exactly.
Like I take it too serious. I had friends.
I feel that.
stop going with me because I take it too serious.
I don't know what it is, but like once that helmet goes on and I'm buckled in, it's like in the visor at least like is like, you know, the cracked. It's
Mhm.
like something changes
Big time.
and you're just like it's like you could be soft spoken, well mannered, like how we are right now, just like having fun, having a conversation. But
Mhm.
like if you and I guaranteed we get on the racetrack together, even on a go-kart track, that visor goes down,
Game on.
one of us is getting spun out,
100%.
and it's not going to be me. I can tell you that much.
It ain't me. Just kidding. I'm pretty good at spinning.
I
So I had
do
a
agree. We need to get a night out for all of us and go karting,
oh, we do.
and I need to take my GoPro and make a series out of it.
Yes.
I think ride along with John as he races against actual race car drivers.
Oh,
Oh
good.
man,
I had a friend like egg me on because we were going go-karting years ago, and he's like, "I'm gonna kick your ass." I'm like, "You want to bet?" I'm like, "Don't play that game with me." So I went out there and there was like just a small little wall, but I put him up and over the wall. I'm like,
oh,
I'm not playing games.
we need to find out how much it would take to rent it out for a night,
Yeah.
and then all of us just like get a group of us, bill it 50-50, just 50, you know, half of whatever it is,
Mhm.
get it all sorted out, and then all of us just go-kart. And I feel like if we put on a proper like put certain people in heat races, like drivers in a driver heat race, certain
Y-
like have a
You
setup.
you can do it at Hamilton indoor go-karts. Like you can get different packages where
Yeah.
you're doing like full-blown races. And like I
That's what we
believe they
need.
do qualifying and stuff. Like there's a bunch of different ones, but we did it the one time a few years ago with some of the pure stock drivers. Oh my god.
I think that's what we need to do with the Joe
Wild.
Media drivers.
Yeah. Like
Now,
Chase. Oh god, I still have a picture. Chase technically has a feature win because he won that night and he took home the trophy.
well, congratulations, Chase. uh but yeah, like I think it'd be great. Um like there's a bunch of people who would go. Like
Mhm.
Cam Thompson will go, Alex Stewart would go. Um, we know Caitlin and Dale would probably go. Jacklyn and myself will go. Um,
Could get Scott to go too because I've talked to him
Scott
about.
would go. Man, if we put it out there, it could turn into a full blown event.
Oh yeah.
Like I think we could have a lot of fun with that. And someone is probably going to go to end up in the hospital that night.
Probably.
Now, depending on who it is, you never know. But um,
It's fair game.
it's fair game. We don't own the carts. It's all good. Uh, but yeah, it was. I had a great weekend. How about you? I just switched it up there. That was a really bad segue. Uh, yeah, let's just talk about go-karts. That would be fun. Anyways, how was your weekend?
Mine was pretty good. Didn't do a whole lot. No racing or nothing like that, but kind of hung out. And Sunday, I really didn't do anything.
Yeah, not like we recorded the show. I mean,
No, literally, I'm like sitting there at Rachel's house for quite a while. And someone said to me like, "Aren't you supposed to be recording the podcast right now?" I'm like, "No."
not tonight. And that was the thing too, is because this guest was at Sunset this weekend, and that's also why I moved it to Monday, was because it was
Yeah,
Velocity this past weekend. And I mean, Sunset isn't. Oh, actually, they're trying to figure out a rain date.
yeah,
So hopefully, they'll figure something out soon. Man, we're almost at the end of the race season. We literally have 3 weeks of racing left.
yeah.
Like we have championship night this weekend, which by the way, it has to be the biggest, championship weekend in almost all of racing. Because Saturday night we crowned the pure stock, the mini stock, the CVM at Flamboro. Friday night, Delaware crowns their bone stock champion, as well as the Quick Wick super stock champion. Then Saturday at Delaware, the EPC rounds out their 2022 season. And then Sunday, the NASCAR Pinty Series goes off. And first of all, I have to give a big congratulations shout out to Delaware Speedway champion Ray Morneau, as he will be making his first career NASCAR Pinty Series start next Sunday. So congratulations, Ray. Super proud of the guy. He's been on the show before. Talked to him. Super nice guy, super great kid. Like, he's phenomenal driver. And man, so proud of him. Like, man, he's gonna do so well. I really hope, hopefully we see him in a Pinty's car full time soon. But I'm super proud of the kid. He did a great job this year. So congratulations, Ray, on your championship for the Pro Lates at Delaware Speedway.
Oh, really cool.
Oh yeah. But yeah, and then of course after next weekend, we got Frosttoberfest. And then after Frosttoberfest, we got Autumn Colors. And after Autumn Colors, we're done. Racing in Ontario is done on asphalt and dirt. I'm not ready for it to end.
Yeah.
Are you ready for it to end for the year?
To a degree. I just get stressed out at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
you know what?
It's like, even though we're not in contentions for anything, it gets very heated.
Oh, for sure. Because everyone's trying to battle for those last few points.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't want our car to be caught up in anything. So, although I think the pure stock championship at Flamboro is basically, I think Reese has got it in the bag at this point. Like, I think we figured out that if the only way she wouldn't get it is if something happened, and I don't think anything's gonna happen, and I think she's got it in the bag. So we will see. Hopefully that takes away a little bit of tension.
Absolutely. You never know what's going to happen,
Mhm.
because I'm going to bring it up here in a second here to see where we're at with points. Because I think even on the CVM sides, I believe TJ Marshall just has to start at least the night. And he'll be crowned the champion for this year. Barring any like big mishaps or anything. I think he'll be a champion once again this year. I'm trying to bring it up here. Come on. I can't even. Oh, there it is.
I think it's about the same for mini stocks too at this point. I think Mercer's got it.
Yeah, because I saw Coleman. There's Mike Coleman. Oh boy, if I'm messing up the name here.
Mike Thompson.
Thank you, Mike Thompson. Coleman. What was I thinking?
Isn't there a Mike Coleman that races like TQ midgets or something?
There is a Coleman that does that as well. Good God, what? Oh, brother, I don't even know what the heck. Sorry, I don't even know what the heck just happened. I just gotta like my phone. Like, I'm waiting on our guest to just like let us know like he's gonna be here soon. And all of a sudden my phone just started buzzing in my hand. It's like Jacklyn sending me pictures, and it's like, I'm like, what the frost is going on here? So yeah, looking at here for the pure stocks, I think barring any if we get a big field and something happens, then Reese I think would be in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
But she's got almost a 30-point lead over Kyle. And Cameron Thompson is 3 points behind Kyle. So that the battle is for second here.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be that should be interesting. Let's go check out the mini stocks. The mini stocks, yeah, Mercer's got it in the bag because
There's no catching him.
yeah, Mike Thompson is 90, 80, 78 points behind Mercer, and then Caitlin's sitting there in third with 1488.
Mm-hmm.
So realistically, pretty much the champions are all crowned for. Because the super stocks and mini stocks, or super stocks and pro late models, they completed their season on the 10th. Who were the champions anyways? I feel bad now.
I believe Lane Zardo was one.
So Mark Burbridge got the Grisdale pro late models, and I believe Lane got the super stocks. If he didn't, I'd be surprised. Yep, Lane got the super stocks. So there's your 2022 champions there at Flamboro. But yeah, I don't want the season to end. But like I want it to end too. Because we all need some downtime.
Yeah.
Right?
But
like
at the same time, like then the downtime comes and it's Saturday and I'm like,
I'm not loading up to Flamboro. What's this?
Yeah, like I don't know what to do now.
If every one of my friends could just have birthdays when it's not race season, that'd be great.
Seriously, like come on, your birthdays, your weddings, everything.
Just make them in the fall after Thanksgiving weekend. We're good.
Yeah. Like I promise now I will not get married during race season. Like
No.
I will not put my friends through that. I always laugh. My dad literally had a friend ask him to be his best man or something like years back. But my dad was in contentions for a championship and it was on a Saturday in race season. And my dad said, no, sorry. Like I got stuff going on and I'm pretty sure that's where the friendship ended.
Hey, you know what? It makes or breaks you.
It really does. I've lost a lot of friends since being like hard into racing. And
yeah,
I'm not mad about it. Like
I hope they're thriving.
Yeah, like I got my own thing going on. You got your own thing. I hope you're doing good.
Yeah.
That's all that matters, I guess. I don't know. That's life.
All right, what do you that's the thing is like I got some great solid friends who back me no matter what. And they're great people. They, thank God. It's one of those things. Thank God we had an off weekend.
Yeah.
My buddy celebrated his 30th birthday on Saturday. And of course, he was at mine.
Yeah.
So I can't miss his. As one of those things like, thank God his was the 13th, and this year there was no racing prior in that period.
Yeah.
So, but I still would have gone anyways. I probably would have gone because I've known him grade 9, first semester of high school.
Yeah.
So I've known him for about 15 years, 15, 16 years. That'd be a dick move. He's been there for a lot of crap with me. So, I'd find a way to get to him. That's for sure. Because I already messed up on his bachelor party. When he was getting married in 2018. We ended up having a rain out, and I asked my sister to watch my kids for the night. And once we found out it was rained out, I ended up going back up to my sister's and taking care of my kids.
Yeah.
So I should have told her that I'm like, hey, like this was the plan, but I also didn't want to put my sister into that predicament, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's enough about us this week. What do you say we get in our guest this week?
Yeah.
Now let's bring in the crew chief from CowPro Motorsports. All right, guys, this week on the True North Racing podcast, we are sitting down with, if I remember correctly, the crew chief for the number 13 CowPro Motorsports. Now, what bodies is it? Is it a Pontiac?
It's a 1959 Pontiac. If we're going to get technical, it is a Strato Chief, but most people will know it as a Bonneville.
Okay.
Car was originally a Canadian car. It was originally a four-door that we had shortened up to look a little better.
Well, I'll tell you this much. It's probably one of the nicest looking cars on the Oscar Hot Rod Series. And of course, joining us this week is Scott Provo, also known as Scooter. And how's it going, man?
It's going great. It was a tough break for Fall Velocity to get the rain out on Sunday. Our team, we had a bit of troubles on Saturday, but with help from other teams and whatnot, we managed to pull some parts together and get things ready to go if the green flag was going to drop on Sunday. But just like the spring event, Mother Nature had other plans for us.
That's always the difficult thing, is when Mother Nature is like, you know what? I don't want you guys playing for 2 days in a row. That's enough of you guys. You guys have had that a couple times this year then, eh? You just said the spring velocity got rained out. I also know Sauble got rained out.
Spring didn't get rained out.
Oh, sorry.
We had the Derocho go through that weekend.
Sorry, what?
The spring event didn't get rained out. It was the Derocho through. And some, not ourselves included, there was teams that had damage at home that we had to go home overnight to address and then come back and put the show on.
Right. And then I also know Sauble got rained out.
Yeah. That was disappointing.
I feel bad because that's such a long haul.
You know what? It's not that bad. But the disappointing part is that the car was just a weapon out on the track. It was running really good that day. We had it really dialed in, and unfortunately we didn't even get into the heats.
Yeah, it's tough when stuff like that happens.
Yeah.
So first of all, we want to get in here is one thing we always like to do is we like to figure out how people we bring on here, we want to figure out how they got involved into racing, because to me that is such a big aspect of, some people have family history, some people like myself are just, they kind of grew up with it in bits and pieces and then just start going to the track more often. How did yourself get into racing and motorsports in general?
Say that both, speaking on behalf of Brian as well, we both grew up with fairly modest childhoods. Him and I have been buddies since high school. We'd always been into cars and whatnot. We'd go out to local concession carts, indoor karting, and go out there and try and cut fast laps. After I went away to college, I managed to get tied up with a Formula Ford outfit in the States, which provided some opportunities for me to get behind the wheel and then become an instructor with them. And I spent 12 years doing that in both Canada and the United States. And then about 5 years ago, we went out to Fall Velocity to go see Derek Henderson race, who's a former racer in the Hot Rod Series. And basically on the ride home, Ryan said, "What are we doing?" And I said, "I don't know, man." And he goes, "We're not younger. Let's go racing." And I said, "Let's do it." And the next week we went out and bought a couple of old Challenger cars and stripped those down and built the first car, which was that 68 Camaro that we had for the first 2 seasons. So previous to this, no experience in short track racing.
Oh, wow. What really drew you guys to the Oscar series?
It's always been regarded as a gentleman's series. For those that aren't familiar with the Oscar hot rods, they're really more of your traditional 1960s, 1970s style stock cars. The bodies are ranging from 1948 to 1974. They're all steel body cars. And for the most part, they're, we'll say, a nice blend of limited late models and super stocks. So it's an accessible series to get into, and because it's more of a gentleman series, there's not too much beating and bashing like you would see in like the late models or the super stocks.
And that's what definitely helps it out a lot, is that, you know, like you said yourself, it is a gentleman's series. It and every one of you guys take care of each other as well on and off the track, because you guys won't, they're expensive cars at the end of the day.
It's not like we can run out to the local parts store and pick up pieces for these.
Yeah.
Off the track, these guys have got to be one of the greatest group of guys you could ever ask to have around. You've got guys that have literally a forest full of old cars out back, so you know you can always find that extra little piece. But some of these guys have been racing 50 years. So the wealth of knowledge and experience that they're willing to share and help out with, because at the end of the day, the series is more about putting on a show for the fans.
Absolutely. You know, that's the thing that's always drawn me to is for being very young. I'm only 30, but like seeing these cars out there on the track, it brings you back to a time that was much simpler. You know, the handcraft of these cars are just absolutely beautiful, and like you just said it yourself, the knowledge of the drivers and some of the drivers in that field was Bill Zardo, big Bill Zardo, 80 years old, is back out there racing,
and he's a rookie. Yeah,
and he's a rookie. Like that just blows my mind. First of all, like a guy who's won many championships back in the day, who is, you know, the head of Zardo Racing, is a rookie, and to me that's something you don't fathom.
Right, and you know what, him and his team, they do a great job every week. They're coming out with that gorgeous Charger Daytona. They're putting on a consistent show, and you know, I talked to Ryan after he goes door to door with Big Z out there on the track, and he says the guy gives him all the room in the world, and he'll come over and he'll have a laugh with you afterwards. It's great.
So definitely with, you know, Bill being up there at 80, who's the youngest driver that's out there? Because I want to understand this age gap.
If I'm gonna guess, it's probably Connor Ellis.
Yep.
And he's probably 20, if that.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's
so that's,
oh boy.
He's also a rookie. And him and Big Z are only a couple of points apart from each other in the Rookie of the Year championship.
You know what? I don't care who wins that one. That's got to be a record for the largest gap in a rookie class ever.
Absolutely.
like most guys are just relaxing at 60, and you know, you guys got you got a youngster and an old guy returning, but he's no slouch either out there still, from what I'm understanding.
No, absolutely not. He's if I believe he's 6th or 7th in points right now.
That's I don't care. That's just phenomenal.
Yeah. He's 5th. He's 5th.
Wow. We're not here to talk about the remarkableness of Bill Zardo. That's for other topics. But we want to get into more about CowPro Motorsports. I've been seeing your guys' stuff on TikTok a lot. First of all, I got to applaud you guys. I love the way you guys are using social media to your advantage. Every time I see a video pop up, I'm like, hey, I know that track. Or to me, it helps you. To me, it helps bring other people out to where you guys are, and you never know what happened. And I want to know the background on some of those videos you guys make. For myself, I know how hard it is to make some of those videos, because they're just difficult to make sometimes.
Well, it's a bit of tooting my own horn. I've got a degree in marketing, so it comes by me naturally. I've always had a passion for filmmaking. I just never had the talent or the look for it. But when we started getting into this racing, the first 3 seasons, we really struggled out there. There was a lot of we'll say anonymity out there that people didn't know who we were. So this year when we went into the effort for the season, I told Ryan, I said, we're going to scrap all of our old social media stuff, and we're starting from fresh, and I'm in charge of it. And we decided that focusing less on the actual racing and focusing more on the people behind the racing and the stories and the images and experiences that are going on off the track are what's really going to be able to engage with people. Because at the end of the day, you know what? It doesn't matter what series it is. If you want to watch cars go fast, you're going to get that opportunity. But finding out the characters and what goes on in the background, that's really where the fun and excitement is. What I find the Hot Rod series has struggled with is because we're a touring series, we don't have the same capture where it's the same audience week after week where we get that fan engagement. So I figure with the approach that I've got now is we're going to be reaching out to those audiences to not only be able to engage with them on a weekly basis online, but when we are rolling into their town, they're going to come out and see us. And, you know, I think we've done a fairly good job of it. We've tried to add a bit more humor into it. I figured our motto in the shop is if we can't be fast, at least be funny. And, you know, so far it's worked.
I feel like that's a play on from Red Green there. If you can't, if a girl doesn't find you handsome, at least she can find you handy. But but I understand that adage though of, you know, if you can't be fast, be funny. Because to me, it's people like yourselves who are able to use social media, go out there, talk to the people, and try to hype up what, especially your series, because sometimes it feels like we know Oscar and you instantly think modifieds.
Right.
There's sometimes I feel like people forget that the hot rods are a part of them, and sometimes it just they need that little extra help. And you guys have your own Facebook page, which helps because I'm a part of it. I see it. I see the camaraderie between everyone, and you know, I to me, it's watching you guys and seeing how you guys use it and to help garner interest into the series. It's going to help that younger generation, I think.
Well, the big thing with the Oscar hot rods, and a lot of people have sort of passed over, is that for the majority of the season, we have been the largest touring series in the province. We've had as many as 28, 29 cars show up for a single event. That's a lot more than the mods. I think that's bigger than the largest Legends field that they've had this year. Consistently, we're 22 to 26 cars at every event. So it's a great field that comes out, and the variety that's out there. I mean, not so much this year, but last year at Sauble, the first two rows were all AMCs. I don't think that's happened since 1974. But what really that brings that out is that people remember these race cars, and the younger generation, they may not remember those race cars, but they know they look cool as hell. They're not all the same cookie cutter designs.
Yep.
And with that differentiation, you know, it brings some fan favorites. You know, I'm not gonna lie, we like our Pontiacs.
Hey, to me, the Pontiac has got to be one of the most beautiful cars. I may be playing favoritism because to me that was my mom's last car she ever owned was a Pontiac Grand Am in 02. So I may be a little biased towards Pontiacs, just a little bit. But whenever I see that Pontiac logo, I'm like, yeah, that's a good one.
Don't tell Ryan my favorite car is Rob Bromley's AMC Javelin.
Oh, you may not have a job after this one then. Now, not only do you do social media for CowPro Motorsports, you also are the crew chief, the man behind it, correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're primarily a two-man show. Sometimes we do get some help from our primary sponsor. He comes out and he'll come out and sling wrenches with us. But generally, how our week is structured is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday nights. Ryan and I will be coordinating. We live about 2 hours apart from each other.
Oh,
we'll
Jesus.
we'll be we'll be coordinating all the video footage we had captured, photographs, stuff like that, and figure out what stories we want to tell from it. We take tons and tons and tons of footage. I would say I use more of the B-roll than anything else. We edit everything together and try and figure out when we're going to launch. And it's usually Wednesdays and Thursdays that we'll put out new content every week. But usually the writing goes on pretty much all the time. It could be 3 o'clock in the morning. I'll wake up and I'll have an idea and I'll send it to you like, is this funny? And, we'll try and make it work. Sometimes we try and make them a little more serious. The promo for last week, I really wanted to try and bring as much attention as I could to the Fall Velocity event because it's a big one for us.
Yep.
And then Thursday nights, that's our shop night. We put the car across the scales, get everything dialed in, go through the books and figure out where we're going, and then get the car loaded up Friday, and then we're off to the races on Saturday.
Now, first of all, for being a two-man team, I got to applaud you guys for living 2 hours apart and still able to coordinate everything throughout a week. Because how many races do you guys run a year? It's got to be, what, 18, 19-ish? 14, 15?
Or 16 this year, I think.
Yeah.
Last year wasn't bad. It was like 7. So.
Yeah, obviously last year with the COVID restrictions lifting, it was easier to get back out there. Now, the one question I do have, because I think you guys are the only series, well, the Pantee started this year, I guess, but you guys have also been known to take to the dirt.
We have.
And how has that been for you guys? And what do you guys have to learn to go to the dirt?
That's a loaded question. Ryan did phenomenal on the dirt last year. This year we had the car set up even better. We did some consulting with Dan Price, who races a modified. He's a regular out there.
Yeah.
He lent us a set of tires and then gave us some advice on setting up the car to make it work there. And even with a tired crate motor, we were able to pull out front. The problem is his radio guy got a little too excited and couldn't keep calm, and we ended up falling out of the groove. And I'm owning that one. It's my fault. we ended up falling out. We still finished 7th.
That's not bad.
It was great to lead the pack, and if this thing with the hot rods doesn't work out, I think Ryan's going to want to go dirt racing.
He enjoyed it that much, eh?
Out there. I wish we got at least a second shot at the dirt this year. I'd love to see us maybe next year race at Oshwegan. Who knows?
Now, seeing those cars sling some dirt on the Oshwegan surface may have to make me come out and watch it, because I don't live like 5 minutes away like Megan over here. Megan lives like 5 minutes from, what is it, like 5-10? I don't know how far it is. It's not far.
Like 10 minutes.
It's not far for her to go to Oshwegan on a Friday night. For me, it's a haul. I got to do an hour and a half. And I think that would make me have to come out there no matter what week it is. I'd have to go out there and catch Oshwegan, because, actually they do have a vintage modified series.
They do, yeah.
So that would be cool to line up the two on a single night at Oshwegan and have like a vintage night. I think that would be pretty cool. Now, you won't get none of our Canadian vintage modified boys who run the asphalt go there. I can tell you that much. But they have run on the dirt before.
Right.
Back in 2000, they ran on the dirt. But anyways, so you guys have, for the most part, you guys have had a pretty good season, I would say.
It's had some struggles.
Yeah.
We've showed up, we'll say, ill prepared. This week we had some problems with the steering box during the practice and the heat races. So we managed to get that swapped out on Sunday morning, and then make the changes to the car accordingly. But I would say we've had a fairly consistent season. We're kind of in a weird spot right now with the team, where we're faster than the slow guys, but we're slower than the fast guys. and we're kind of in that no man's land right in the middle, like between 7th and 12th in the pack. So it's a weird spot to be, but every week it makes us drive just a little bit quicker.
Absolutely. What's been your best race to date so far?
I don't know. I don't even pay attention to that. I know we had, I think we had a 5th or a 6th this year. And I know we had a couple of 7ths. I think the second Sunset and then Brighton, we had 7th place.
Okay. So that's not bad. You guys are just outside the top 5, which is nothing to be slouched about. And like I said, I think okay, so this is I'm changing gears here. I gotta know. I jump everywhere. I'm sorry. The one thing about me is I don't sit here and I have like a show sheet in front of me like I really should. I just go off the cuff and just like, oh, let's see what I think of next. Just what
I've got cheat sheets here beside the desk. I don't forget them.
Yeah, you can even ask Megan here. I'm probably the worst at planning on how we're gonna approach a guest. And I'm just like, let's just see what happens. All right. The entire time we're just let's just see what happens.
Jump around.
I gotta know is where did you guys get the idea for your paint scheme?
So that car is a tribute to the Smoky Unic Firecracker 400 or Firecracker 500 car that was raced by Fireball Roberts. So that car is designed as a tribute. Now that car was raced under the number 3. The later Smoky Unic cars were number 13. But that's the theme we went with. But it's the right, the color swatches and everything. It's all the right colors. And that's what we went with. Of course, because to fit the more modern chassis, the car is a little bit lower than the original.
Hey, I was almost pretty positive it was like the Smoky Unic Fireball Roberts kind of scheme, but I wanted to be 100% sure before I was like, hey, so what made you think of this? So with everything that goes, so again, this is my brain just jumping around here. How long have you guys been racing in the Oscar Hot Rod Series?
This is our 4th season.
Season.
The first we had a 68 Camaro that was derelict. It was the Rat Rod car, as a lot of people referred to it as. That car actually is coming back. I'm not going to mention any names, but that car has been resurrected and will be back before the end of this season. The driver picked it up and it will be remaking its debut this season.
Do you know when? So we can keep an eye out.
He said maybe this weekend, but it's probably going to be Peterborough.
Yeah. So you guys have what, about 2 races left then?
So we've got Delaware upcoming this weekend, and then Flamboro for Frost Fest on the 1st, and then Autumn Colors at Peterborough.
So 3 races left in the year. And where are you guys at in points right now?
Sunset may have a, and that's tentative so far, but we haven't heard anything yet.
Yeah. Hopefully as long as Frosttoberfest doesn't rain out, I think the weekend after the weekend after Thanksgiving is probably the only opening that's left in the year.
That's right, yeah.
But I think most of us know it's for Frosttoberfest, it's either one day or the other that gets rained out. So I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see on what Sunset decides to do. So barring any things here, let's say there's 4 events left, 4 feature races left in the season. What are some of the goals you guys have as a team to finish out your year?
Well, we're still aiming for the top 5. Our aggregate average finish is still going to potentially get us there, as long as we can maintain the consistency. The fact that we got rained out at Sunset probably helped us rather than hurt us. just because we were having so many difficulties on Saturday. I didn't know necessarily if we were going to recover from that. It allows us to regroup, and we got great data at the 2 Delaware events earlier this year. And Flamboro, Ryan has run fairly decently and strongly there, and Peterborough's his favorite track. So we're excited for those last 3. It also puts us in a good position that, you know, we're not that far off from Bill Zardo to get into that top 5. I mean, he's a hell of a guy to try and catch, but you know what, a lot can happen. There's a lot of racing still left, and you know, who knows, we may find that right ticket and find the checkers.
Absolutely. Now, this is the one thing that always gets me about the series, and I need to make sure this is correct, is that in the Oscar Hot Rod series that you guys cannot run stickers tires.
Correct.
Is that true?
Yes. So we have a strict used tire rule, and the tech team regularly comes out, durometers them, and measures the tread depth to ensure that nobody's using sticker tires.
So now this is going to be a question, because I'm illiterate to this series. I understand a few aspects of it. So to everyone else, what makes it a used tire? Is it running 2 sets of hot laps? Is it running 150 laps on a set of tire? What would count as a used tire?
Mostly, you know, like the molding nibs and the mold release line.
Yep.
Once those are worn away, it's generally considered a used tire.
Okay.
But that said, you want a tire anyway that's already had, call it 50, 60 feature laps on it. So it's been heat cycled properly, and that way it's going to give you a bit better performance and longevity. And it's not a tire that you're going to overheat too quickly because it's too soft. You know, even though we only run a 30 lap feature, I mean, it's not uncommon for guys to burn that right rear tire off.
Oh wow. So now this is gonna be my next question: is where do you guys get your tires from if you guys can't go to a place like Grisdale's to buy, you know, a set of tires? Do you guys how do you guys do that?
So when Grisdale's is at some of the bigger events, quite often they do set aside the used tires from like the APC and the mod series, and then supply them to the hot rod teams. You know, very minimal cost.
Okay.
And because we race with the Oscar modifieds, many of the teams are getting their tires from the modifieds teams.
Okay. So that always made me wonder, is like how that would work, because in competitiveness, usually once the tire's gone, they'll just toss it to the side or whatever. But it's good to hear that you guys are able to access tires, it seems, pretty easily.
Well, this year it's been a little more challenging, because of the American racers. Teams are, you know, a team that last year would be running sticker tires every event, or every second event, they're running them 3 or 4 events just because they don't have inventory.
Yeah.
So it hasn't been the greatest this year, but in previous years it's been, you know, it's like, okay, I have enough tires.
Actually, that was gonna be my next question, because realizing like that because of the tire shortage, I was actually curious also if it was going to trickle down to you guys, and it definitely has. It seems like
most of the tires that we're running this year have been 2 years old, 3 years old.
Good God, that's just now it's the is it the 8-inch slicks that you guys have to run, or is it
we're running
sorry?
We're running the 10-inch American racers.
Okay, the 10-inch. Okay.
Yeah.
See, I always want to make sure I have the correct information so I don't sound like an asshole or an idiot up here. That's the worst thing, is when you're just like, oh yeah, this would, and you're just like, no, that's not it. I'd rather you tell me that. Make it sound like a question, so I don't look like a complete idiot up here. That's always the fun part. Anyways, with the series, you guys go to man, you guys go to essentially every single asphalt track, and as well as make that trip out to Brighton each year. What's the farthest distance for you guys to hit up a track?
Sauble is definitely the furthest for us. The team's based out of Port Perry.
Okay.
It's a good solid 4.5 hour drive without any stops.
Wow.
So it's a bit of a haul.
I was about to say, I'm like, yeah, that I feel like Sauble's for the long haul for a lot of people. But yeah, that's definitely a haul. It reminds me of the days I used to go to Delaware Speedway on Friday nights. I'm from Brampton area, just north of Brampton.
Okay.
So I would get picked up in Guelph at about 3:00 in the afternoon, or about like 2:00 to go down to be at for gates opening at like 5:00 down at Delaware.
Oh wow.
Long days. Oh boy, where are we going here? Why don't we jump into our fan question period here?
Okay.
Megan, so as you saw earlier today, we had put out there that you were going to be our guest tonight on the show. We put out there on Facebook that we are going to have you on, and we got some questions for you. You ready to answer them?
Absolutely.
All right, Megan, fire them away.
Okay. William_Trillium said, "What made you choose the number?"
Well, it was Ryan's number when he played hockey. His brother wore the number 12, and was the number that was on his Camaro. Unfortunately, Ryan lost his elder brother to cancer the year before we started racing, and that was one of the major inspirations for him to actually want to start racing, because you never know what life is going to throw you.
Mm-hmm.
So he put the number 12 on his Camaro. We raced that for 2 years, and when we moved up to this Pontiac, it was going to take the number 13.
Nice. And Reeser Racing?
Reeser Racing
Said, "Where did the name CowPro Motorsports come from?"
Well, this was the result of tens of thousands of dollars of market research. Full study. I mean, we had university students all over the world collaborating on this. And basically what we did is we ended up combining Ryan's last name and my last name. And yeah, it seems like a lot of money spent.
All right, those are our fan question periods
Yeah.
this week. We want to thank everyone for submitting their questions. And as always, make sure you guys check out when we drop our drop the guest of the week on Sundays on Facebook, Instagram. And don't be afraid to drop your questions in there. We'll get them added to the list. And as always, we want to thank Scott here for answering those questions for us. Now as we come into the last little bit of our show here, we talked about a bunch of things tonight. What are your guys' plans for the off season and for 2023?
The off season, I am going to have a nap. That is the first. As soon as we are done, I am having a nap. What we're going to be doing is the Pontiac is going to need some love. She's going to get stripped down and repainted, cleaned up. But the main thing that we're going to be working on is a motor program this year. The Oscar hot rods are unique in that they allow a blend of crate motors as well as built motors. We found that we're at the limit of what we can do with the crate motor. We're likely going to be moving towards a built motor program. So we are going to be doing that. There's a little rumor going around that we may be putting a second car together. It's not like we don't have a chassis and a body there ready. So there's a rumor of that going around. So that may be something to look for.
Well, first of all, I think everyone's idea of after the race season, the first thing they're going to do is have a nap. Because let's be honest here, the race season is a long one, but it's also enjoyable. And especially when you're around the right people. So I think a nap is always in order once we're done race season. Second of all, now if considering you didn't really confirm nor deny those rumors, what would the number be on the car if said car was running?
Well, you 13, they're going to draw a 31.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you're gonna have a busy off season by making sure that car gets the Pontiac gets some loving. We do want to so before we do anything else here, we want to thank you for jumping on with us this week. It was great getting to know you and talking with you and finding out a lot more about CowPro Motorsports. So like I said, I've seen it on TikTok, and that's how we got him. Because I just messaged him on TikTok. I was like, "Hey, you want to come on as a guest?" and he agreed to do this. So I mean, hey, here we are.
And that's one thing for a lot of the teams out there. The new age social media, the TikTok, the Instagram, just what the algorithms could do for you. So for those teams that are out there and really trying to build the awareness, take the time to invest in it and learn from it. Start following all the race teams that are out there. And what you're going to find is which content works, which content doesn't work. But the analytics from it are just incredible.
Oh yeah. That's the thing is like I think I run 4 different accounts. I think 4 or 5 different accounts. So you can imagine I'm getting the analytics out the woo-ha for
That's
so many different things. It's absolutely unreal. But you're right though, social media can do so much for you if you understand the numbers, if you understand the algorithm, if you understand what works and what doesn't work. And I'm still learning, especially for my own personal Joe Media page on TikTok. I'm still learning what content works, what doesn't. And I think we're going to be hitting a stride here soon with some good stuff. As well as, you know, Megan does a lot of good social media work as well. You know, and it works. That's if you understand what you're doing, it works. So we were supposed to have Ryan on with us this week. We were supposed to have both Scott and Ryan on. Unfortunately, Ryan was unable to make it as he had to work tonight. But we're so thankful to have you on to talk to you about CowPro Motorsports, and definitely gonna have to bring you guys back on so we can actually talk to Ryan and get his feelings, talk to him, and just have another great conversation like this.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. I appreciate you inviting us.
Is there anyone you want to thank throughout that's gotten you through the season?
Oh, well, I first want to thank the fans. It's been incredible the support that we've gotten this year, the reception that we're getting both online and in person. It's just been incredible. I'd like to thank CowPro's primary sponsors, KCM Metals. There's my note fell down. KCM Metals, Think Path Designs, and Powder King Customs, who have really come through and provided us with just, you know, incredible support. You know, when they're coming out and they're helping us wrench on the car on a weekend, it's just amazing to see. And you know, it's great to be able to support local businesses.
That's awesome. Is there anyone else you guys want to thank for helping getting you through the season? Anyone else, please feel free. Let us know your social media as well.
I gotta thank the whole Oscar team, Dave Gameforth, week in, week out, and the crew of mostly volunteers come out and help us put on a show week in, week out. And then the guys in the garage and on the track. I mean, every week we park with Gary Hanna, and who drives the plum crazy dart. Sean Walker, who has either the 57 Nomad or the 55 Chevy. You know, we're always parked with them week in, week out, and they're just, you know, amongst the greatest group of guys. You know, I can shoot them a text at 11:30 at night and saying, "Hey, I'm missing a fitting for something. Can you help me out?" And he'll tell me, "Come by the shop. I'll be there." So
that's awesome.
Guys have been such a help this season.
That's always good to hear. Oh, definitely want to, like I said, we want to thank you for jumping on with us this week. We're gonna have to get you guys back on either sometime over the off season or sometime next year, and get Ryan in, because I feel like we need the two of you guys to get on here, and we'll get you guys. Like I said, we're gonna get you back into the rotation, get you guys back on here.
Excellent.
Well, thank you so much, Scott, for jumping on with us this week, and it's a pleasure chatting with you.
Thank you again.
All right, we'll catch you later. Okay.
Have a great night.
All right. Bye now.
Cheers.
All right, guys. That was Scott Provo of CowPro Motorsports. We want to thank him for jumping on with us this week, as we do all our guests each week. I didn't realize this is something I learned, and like, people can call me ignorant all I want. I don't understand the Oscar series sometimes, but I'm glad we had him on to help clarify some things, like that tire rule.
Definitely.
I understood they had to use tires,
Yeah.
but I didn't understand if, like, what was considered used.
Which is reasonable. I honestly didn't know either. Like,
Yeah,
I would
because
just assume that they buy new tires and they go out and
they run practice laps,
tear
and
'em
yeah.
on practice. Yeah, and like I wouldn't know.
No, and like, you would think they'd start off like the day with a brand new right rear or something,
Yeah.
and then, because by the time practice is done, it's technically got a couple heat sessions into it,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I'm glad to have someone like himself come on and especially explain that rule, because
Mm-hmm.
especially with this year, because I think they're also in the series that they're only allowed to test twice.
Right.
I think they're only allowed to test twice as well. So I think it was great to see that they, like, to understand how they acquire tires.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And that makes a lot more sense to me.
It does.
So if you guys want to check out the Oscar Hot Rod series next time they're in action, will be this Saturday, September 24th at Delaware Speedway. You're gonna be able to catch all the action on G-Force. Yeah, because it's championship night for the APC United Late Model Series, and the modifieds and the hot rods will be there
But on Saturday or on the Friday?
Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Now I feel like I'm gonna be an asshole here.
I just wondered, because you said Saturday, and I'm like, I'm just used to them being Fridays.
Well, let's find out, because I think, because it's 3 days of action this weekend. I know the super stocks. Let's see here. The super stocks run. So here we go. This Friday, September 23rd. It's a Great Canadian Race Weekend. Quick Super Stock Series Championship, which was 50 laps. V8 Stock Championship, 25 laps, and the Bone Stock Championship will also be 25 laps. Saturday will be the EPC Late Model Series Championship, as well as the Oscar Open Wheel Modifieds and the Oscar Hot Rod Series.
Okay.
And then Sunday, will be the NASCAR Pinty Series Championship with the King of the Hill Nationals.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The Nationals for King of the Hill?
Yeah, apparently.
The
Learn something new every day. Oh yeah, I'm looking here. Man, that may look like fun too. Because
I can admit I've just been too involved with pure stocks that I don't pay attention to what's going on much outside of it, to be honest.
you need to get out.
I do. Like, my God.
Like, you need to get out there. Come on now.
Right?
How about this? Like, even next weekend, they're still going, eh? Next weekend, they have the Monster Truck Throwdown, featuring Monster Truck Superstars, freestyle motocross, pit party, and much more. And it's a two-day event, Friday and Saturday. And then the following weekend at Delaware, then the following weekend on October 8th, they have the Pumpkin Smasher Enduro. Event begins at 3:00 and also includes the Demolition Derby.
Nice.
Yeah, that seems like it'd be pretty fun.
There's so much going on at the end of the season. It's just
I know, right?
like I don't know where to go.
How about
I mean,
this?
I'm getting Flamboro, so
I already feel bad because you want to know something? This Thursday at 5:30 at 5:30 at 5:30 there's a freaking concert happening at Delaware Speedway. And you want to know who includes? Because I'm pissed. I forgot about this. The James Barker Band.
Oh.
The Recklaws.
Oh.
And Gord Bamford.
Okay, that would be cool.
And I'm thinking, like, I even tell Jacklyn a while ago, I'm like, let's go to that. And I completely forgot.
See, that would be so cool because, like, I've never been to a concert. Fun fact.
Really?
So, like, to go to one at a racetrack, yeah, it would be so cool.
Last year looked pretty cool. I saw pictures of it, but the fact that they're able to set up a stage,
yeah,
perform an amazing, like I need to see a time lapse of this.
that'd be
So
really
like,
cool.
I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna clip this. I'm gonna put it up on TikTok and YouTube or Facebook. Someone needs to get out there, put a camera up on the spotter's perch, and do 24-hour time lapse. I want to see over 24 hours. I want to see from when the stage starts going up to when racing starts.
That'd be cool.
I want to see that process, even if it's a time lapse. So, Rogers TV, G-Force, please give me what I want. I just want a time lapse. I don't know what it. No, have you? People always love the transitions people can do on TikTok.
Yeah.
Like, when you just flash in front of the camera and next year you transition to something else. I don't know what it is. My transitions is from like watching sports stadiums to go from hockey to basketball, or like basketball to concert, then back to hockey. And I don't know what it is, but there's something magical about how it's done.
It's cool.
And people can call me crazy all they want. Call me crazy. But it's magical.
We all have our own interests, so it is what it is. I think it's cool.
I want someone to invite me somewhere where I can just sit and watch a transition.
John, come watch this.
I would. If someone from MLSE or like Skydome or whatever was like, hey, listen, we want to sit you in a spot and you can watch this in real life, I'd be down. I don't know why. It just mesmerizes me. It's just beautiful. It's like art.
Yeah.
Like, I get that they put the padding on top of the ice so that we don't have to melt the ice and then remake the ice. I get that.
Yeah.
But it's still having to transition the stadium itself or a facility to make it look like what it is. Like, that to me, that makes it better. I don't know why, but
I get that.
I could just watch them all day. Like the one, okay, so dead ass, there's one transition I've yet to see and I want to see it, and it's because like I don't think a lot of people probably knew about it or understood the information of it at the time. But I would love to see a time lapse of what the Skydome did to make a indoor stadium into a basketball stadium. So, the Skydome, how it's meant for baseball, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I understood how the transition worked from baseball to football because the seats rotate. I understood that. That's easy to understand. But what my brain doesn't comprehend is how come there are seats that magically appeared on one half of the stadium and how they were able to hang the scoreboard over the center of it. I want to understand where it went, how it just boggles my mind. And I did being a little kid in Mississauga, I got the opportunity to go sing "Oh Canada" and the Star Spangled Banner at a Blue Jays game.
Yeah.
and they took us on a tour of the underground of the Skydome. I got to go inside the Toronto Raptors change room when they played in the Skydome for their inaugural season.
I thought you were gonna say when they were changing. I'm like, that's weird.
That's weird because that's a Blue Jays game. Why are they changing out a Blue Jays game? That's just weird. But they played from 95 to like, I don't know, I think 96 or something like that, or up to when they moved into the ACC. But they played in the Skydome for a couple years, at least a couple years. And I get it, it's the off season for the Blue Jays. I get that. I understand this. But I need to know why they would transition this much, or what they had to do if they just left it. It just eats me because I don't know what it is. It's just something like that eats me alive, and it just frustrates me. I know I just went on a rant. I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry. But sometimes there's something beautiful that comes along in your life, and to me, those transitions are beautiful. Okay, it's art. I've always wanted to work on a crew like that. I don't know why. It's like a dream job. Like I would just love to make a transition happen in an arena.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's just, call me crazy. I don't know what you want me to tell you. I'm sorry everyone for going on that long ass rant. Anyways, this weekend, I said it at the beginning of the show, is championship weekend for what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 series championships get great crowned this weekend at Delaware Speedway. 3 more get crowned at Flamboro Speedway this Saturday. I forgot to mention earlier, Scott Tonelli, I'm so sorry, buddy. I meant to bring this up earlier. This Saturday, it is Flamboro Machine Shop Night at Flamboro Speedway for the Young Drivers Canadian Modifieds. And at intermission, we will be doing an event for Change for Change. It is a mental health initiative started by driver the number 14 in the CVM, Scott Tonelli. Oh, excuse me. On Saturday night at intermission, we will be dressing some CVMs up in some bright colored cars and some glow sticks, hopefully some lights and stuff like that. And we're going to drive a few laps around. And Scott Tonelli is going to talk about Change for Change. We are going to have some volunteers up in the stands collecting donations for Change for Change. Scott has the opportunity this year to buy a bed for Grand River Hospital. He's got a guest coming to the track Saturday as well. Anyone who wants to join, if you stay this late, thank you. If you're a pure stock, mini stock, CVM, anyone who's racing Saturday night at Flamboro Speedway, and you would like to be a part of this, please feel free. You are more than welcome to.
I was just gonna ask that if we're allowed to identify as a CVM for the night, because like we've already dug out decorations.
You are more than welcome to join. I'm going to be putting it out on Facebook, on the Canadian Vintage Modifieds Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages, asking for car numbers. We need to have a rough idea of how many cars we're going to have for the event. I'm hoping we probably have anywhere above 15 cars. I would love to see a minimum of 15 cars get on the track and help support this awesome cause. It is going to go to, like I said, the money is going to go directly to Grand River Hospital, is going to go directly towards the purchase of a bed that Scott is hoping to collect. And if anyone who doesn't know what Change for Change is, Scott Tonelli does this amazing light show at his house. I think it's going to start near the end of September, or near the end of November, beginning of December. And it's going to run until January 1st, I believe, or just after New Year's. And the money donated goes directly to the Grand River Hospital to help buy supplies for the hospital. It doesn't go to anyone else's pocket, which is awesome. It goes directly to the hospital into stuff that they need for the mental health division at Grand River Hospital. We are going to hear about Scott's story on Saturday night, I believe. Scott, if I put you on the spot, I'm sorry, Scott. We got to thank Rob Twitchett for bringing this up. And currently Rob's in California right now. So Rob, you better get your butt back here and get that card ready. Vacation's over, buddy. You got to get back here. Chop, let's go. I get you were at Chip Foose's place today, but bring some of that trick stuff up here and get your car ready. But yeah, it should be a good night, should be a great night. So yeah, if you guys want to jump on in, you guys are more than welcome to come on out. Megan, get your dad out there. I'm sure he's gonna, you guys are gonna, like you said, you guys are gonna identify as a CVM. Yep. Anyone, like I said, anyone who's at the track who wants to bring your car out, put some glow sticks on it, put some lights, find a battery converter. I don't know what you guys are gonna do, but I really kind of hope someone comes up with like a spinning Santa. I don't know why. I just want that spinning Santa on top of the car. Hopefully, see if someone finds one. I think it'd be funny just seeing like a spinning Santa on top of a car. But yeah, that we got a great night of racing ahead. We are going to crown our champion that night. I don't want the season to end, but like I'm looking forward to it a little bit. I need to relax.
Literally, just to have those weekends off, like we didn't even run a full season, and it's been busy. Like, jeez Louise.
Oh yeah. Well, at least we're gonna have a nice long off season. We're gonna have a banquet this year. I'm so excited about. We got a banquet.
Yeah.
That's gonna be great to see. I gotta get the details on that.
Do the CVM drivers go to the same one as all of Flamboro, or do you guys have your own?
You know what? Here's the thing. I don't know what we're planning this year.
So
I heard something like November 12th or something like that, but I gotta confirm with some guys. I don't know. We'll have to see. I heard something about November 12th. We need to get up on the website. I don't know why. No one's actually told me. So I'm left in the dark here.
Good.
So we'll find out. I'm gonna find out this week and see what the plan is. And I feel bad if someone left me out because that's upsetting. I don't want to be left out.
Just leave the media guy out.
Yeah, just leave the media guy out. Like,
no big deal.
Yeah, no big deal. Other than that, Megan, got anything else? You're gonna be at Flamboro Speedway this Saturday, right?
Yes.
All right. Oh, we got one more go around at the track this year. You guys going to Frosttoberfest or no? Or is that up in the air?
I think it's up in the air. It's been talked about, but we don't typically do Frosttoberfest.
Yeah.
Or any specials, not quite yet at least. We're still trying to get the car tuned up the way we want it, and it's not quite the way we want it, so might be there to just watch.
Yeah.
I don't know if the car will be there.
Well, if you're there on Sunday, might need some help.
Alright.
Because I'm not announcing anything. But there may be something in the works.
I still want to do my TikTok video, but nobody wants to freaking do it with me.
Then we're doing it on the 2nd. I don't know what to tell you. Like, we'll figure it out, okay? Sunday, October 2nd at Flamboro Speedway. Come join the next TikTok revolution with Megan Mitchell. Actually, I don't know why, but to me in my ears, that just sounded like really like a radio professional.
It did.
It was
a little weird.
It was a little weird?
Yeah, like it was a little weird how accurate it was.
Now I'm going to have to cut that out and see what happens, because have you ever wanted to be the next TikTok viral video? Well, here's your chance. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to listen to that because I don't. To me, it sounds like it's professional, but now I'm gonna have to actually listen to it and see. Oh man, we are. I'm sorry to everyone who's listening at this point because I'm just off the rails. Megan, how about you take us home before I say something I regret?
Oh boy. All right. Thank you guys for listening to the True North Racing Podcast. You can find us on Apple, Google, Spotify, YouTube. Is that it for the podcast part of it? Okay. You want your social medias on there too?
You gotta drop the socials.
All right.
I gave you the outline here.
I know, but I don't have it in front of me. Hold on. Restart.
Okay, let's try this again.
Okay. Thank you for listening to the True North Racing Podcast. Stay up to date on everything going on by following Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to keep up to date on all the latest content. Dude, you don't even have the... Okay, you can find these episodes on Google, Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. For John Morrison, I'm Megan Mitchell. See you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Peace out.
Engine rooming by, smell the gas and feel the vibe. Going into overdrive. Drop the flag, then the car zooming by. Hey, True North Racing, let's go.